Maybe I shouldn't talk about this, but I've wanted to talk about this for so freaking long, but I was like, no, maybe not. Like, it's not my fucking business, you know? But I think I want to talk about it. Okay, so obviously I do a lot of like paranormal content, right? There is another creator that used to do paranormal content. He doesn't really do it that much anymore. He's actually my friend. I had talked about him in a video, a paranormal update last year. In that video, I named him Jamie. His entire life, he's been able to see things. He's been able to interpret things. 100% clairvoyant, clairaudient. He's pretty well known in like that community. I've been friends with this guy for a really long time. If you guys also didn't know, I live in LA. So I was born and raised here. I've lived here my entire life. Being out here, we see a lot of like YouTubers, celebrities, influencers. We see a lot of that. So this one day, me and him went out. Oh, I look crazy. While we're out, we see a pretty well-known YouTuber. And this YouTuber does like paranormal kind of content. I kind of see her from afar. I had seen some of her stuff before. I'm like, do you want to say hi to her? He's like, yeah. So he goes up and he actually knows her. So he goes up, he says hi, he introduces me to her. I'm like, hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. She's like, yeah, thank you. Nice to meet you too. We talk a little bit, and Jamie's face, he had like this look on his face. She walks away and she was with like 3 other girls. So we turn around, we start walking the way we were walking, and he's like, that bitch is so fake. I'm like, what do you mean that bitch is so fake? He's like, you know the shit like that she talked about, that shit's fake, right? I'm like, no fucking way. He's like, of course it is. It's like all for the cameras. And I'm like, well, how do you know? And he's like, because I know. Like, I know. He's like, I can tell not only by like the videos, the content, but like when he's with someone, he can tell right off the bat if someone's like bullshitting. So I thought that was really weird. Later that day, I go home and I start kind of researching like a little more into this person, and sure enough, there's a few different videos of people talking about this person and how they fake stuff for content, fake stuff for views. I started watching a few of their videos and I'm like, come on. Their audience is young, so I understand the hype, but I was like, what the fuck? Like, it's just very fake. No hate to this person, and I'm not gonna say who this person is, please don't ask. Very obvious that it's faked content. You know what I mean? That happens, and I kind of have a bad taste in my mouth for something else, which I won't get into, but something that Jamie told me about her that I did not like. So I was like, whatever. So a few weeks ago, I was with one of my coworkers, and me and him are pretty close, and he's another like influencer who he was pretty well known. He was actually part of like the David Dobrik era of people. So he has videos with like Corinna, with David. So he hangs out with them, so he knows all these people. So this girl YouTuber gets brought up in the conversation. He's like, yeah, I know her. Like, I just had lunch with her not too long ago. I'm like, no fucking way. So he shows me his phone. He's like, that's her number. I'm like, what the fuck? You know, super weird. So he starts talking to me about it. He's like, you know that shit's all fake, right? And I'm like, what? He's like, that shit's all fake. Like, it's for the cameras. You know that, right? I'm like, this is like the 3rd time that I've heard of a YouTuber like faking stuff for views. But is that not the weirdest fucking thing?